Hello and welcome to yet another guide video. This one is actually dedicated to one of my most loyal and supportive subscribers that I have, which is Perlin Alex. He requested a guide for empty Outcast, and that's exactly what I'll do today. And yeah, without any other boring information at the beginning, let's just jump right into it. So, empty Outcast, first of all, is a mirror template Outcast version. To keep in mind that it's actually not a version of Jeebus Outcast, it's actually just Outcast, so there are a lot of differences that people might not realize. And first of all, it is made by John Denver, not MKC, so in my opinion it's not really a Jeebus Outcast mirror, it's more like a different version of H3DM1 with like boxes for army and some other arties and whatnot, which is kind of interesting. I've played the template a fair bit and I actually kind of enjoyed it, honestly. It's definitely not a bad template at all, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So, first of all, the trade for the template is a little bit unconventional, I guess, because you go to random map, you make your room with like empty Outcast, then you go to show advanced option, well, 2 players I guess. You go to advanced options here, then you actually don't do anything but roll a faction pair. It's gonna be somewhere here, you know, you open up, then you'll have the random town function. You just use the random town, then it gives you one of the faction pairs. And yeah, let's say you get like dungeon, both players have dungeon, then you actually don't pick a hero, you just begin. And obviously the timer is something like 1:30 I think, or you can play with the general timer for Jeebus Outcast, which is gonna be 1:15, which I would prefer myself anyway. So doing the timer as well, you have the random faction generated, obviously, then you begin, and this is how the trade works. So you start the map, you look at the heroes, you have Damakon and Daze, then you actually go back to the lobby, you make the room again. Obviously you go to the online lobby, but I'm going to a single player just to show this properly. And yeah, you make the room again, you go here, then you have dungeon, and then you actually pick between Daze and Damakon based on the trade. And you can also use 500 gold, I think, to reroll that faction pair. So, you have Damakon and you have Daze. They're actually kind of close together, I guess. The trade here wouldn't be too much, but you have to keep in mind that this template has like a million ways to progress. I actually won't do any proper gameplay for the template because I feel like there's just too many ways that you can progress and too many different timings and whatnot, because the heroes are not exactly banned. There's just a handful of heroes being banned. And then you have heroes like Alamar with Resurrection, or Jedi, or Deemer with Showers, and they are quite strong, right? Like, for almost every town here, you have a hero that's completely broken. For instance, Castle actually has Valeska, I think, and so on. Yeah. Then I think on Rampart you have Jelu even, so you can make sharpshooters. Like, some of these heroes will probably go to even 15k, which by the way is another template, I guess, specific function, because you have to play the player difficulty on hard and not expert. This is a bit different here because you actually start with 15k gold, so the general trade with like 10k is not exactly applying. You can actually go higher than that. And yeah, as I said, every town pretty much has their own broken heroes. Tower has Drakon and so on. I guess Inferno doesn't really have much, but you still can go with Kal, I guess, if you high roll there, so it's pretty decent. Then yeah, Necro, you obviously have Tant and Galfran and so on. Like, almost every town here is gonna have a hero that's gonna completely destroy the map, basically, and those heroes will even go to up to 15k. You might even have, like, I've actually played on Conflux, I've played Grindon before, and it was super easy to play the map with. So the timings for the map itself depend a lot on what kind of heroes you get. If you don't really get any super high heroes, I would say, like the most, you know, extreme heroes, the best in the meta, you probably want some timings on like month 2 to fight your opponent. So before month 2, basically just farm. But if you high roll like a Jelu or I don't know, whatever, Galfran, let's say, and you can just destroy the entire map with, it's very likely that either you or your opponent will want to fight before month 2. So keep that in mind. Then you probably want something like farm your entire map on week 3, and then week 4 already go towards your opponent, or be ready for a fight at least. But yeah, let's say you're done with the trade, you're done with the heroes, then you actually have to pay for color, I think. At least I've done color trades as well, I'm not sure. You could also coin toss it, I guess. And generally, as I said, the heroes can go up to like 15k even if the hero is extremely good. Most of the time it's not gonna go higher than like 2 or 3k if the heroes are like close together, because you want that gold obviously. And the color, I would actually prefer blue, but some people have been betting for red, even though I don't really feel like red is relevant unless you do high roll a big hero there. So it's not really amazing. I feel like blue is better simply because so far every single time I attacked somebody, it was in their town, and obviously blue has the advantage of getting mana in that case. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. But let's just get right into it. Let's say you're done with the trade, you picked up like a faction hero, right? I'm gonna just random, and we'll see how the game looks like in the template itself. So yeah, you go inside. Tournament rules have to be on, and this is how the map is going to look. First of all, you're gonna have like a lot of roads. You're gonna start in the middle of the map most times. I have actually started like in the corners once as well, and you have portals that take you to places. But most of the time you start in the middle of the map, and so does your opponent. So basically you're here and your opponent is gonna be exactly here as well. This is, as I said, a mirror template, therefore you have the exact same map as your opponent does. Then I guess the opponent rolled Tazar, which is quite insane. You would probably get paid a lot in this raid, by the way. Tazar is probably one of the best heroes you could roll, even in this version on Fortress at least, so keep that in mind. You're most likely gonna go for Wyverns, then you're gonna start farming. And each player actually has a 1-1-2 restart, so you can actually like pick up some things, not really use anything here, you know, just like scout, then go for day 2. This is already an amazing map though. And then you go for day 2, and then here you can decide whether you want to keep or not. You know, maybe you want to do this box for instance, then you see the result and so on. Right, you get some gnolls and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna plus. In this case you would most likely plus because you rolled the Diplo and Earth on Alkin already on day 1, so that's amazing. But yeah, this is how the template usually works. You have a 1-1-2, you can scout a fair bit, and to keep in mind, it's very important. I'm gonna actually showcase the map here because, as I said, I won't do a proper gameplay. But to keep in mind, the boxes that you can get in the template itself are most likely to be army. There are some troll boxes as well, I think like 33 gold or 666 experience. They are extremely rare to generate. You might get like 1 per map, and they might be even like guarded by some crazy stuff. It's just like a punishment from John, I guess, that you shouldn't just go for Pandoras, you know, you should go for other things as well. And yeah, basically all of these boxes are going to be army most likely, and I guess next turn I'll actually grab them. But yeah, as you can see, my opponent has the exact same layout of the map, so it's very important for you to actually keep track of your opponent. If you have view air, it's amazing to know, and view earth, because then you know actually where your opponent is going all the time. And that can be super helpful, because if they get like a spike in power boost, then you actually know where they got it and you can go get it as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's good to keep an eye on your opponent. Also, speaking of eyes, you do sometimes have, yeah, I think this is actually generated every single time for your biome, for your starting biome, and you can actually see with these eyes a bunch of the map for both you and your opponent. Therefore you can actually keep track of your opponent doing this, which is quite amazing to say the least. I think these are must-haves in this template. You get to see everything basically, and it's really good to have. Like, you even see a teapot, you see like a 3-all necklace in your biome, you see all of the biomes around you, you see that there's a castle town. You can do so many decisions based on that, right? Keep in mind that it does take like a full minute to actually see the eye though, so you're gonna waste all of your timer here. Now, outside of this, how do you actually play this template? I would say, first of all, you wanna get resources. As you can see, there are mines. There's 1 each in your biome, and most people on week 1 and sometimes even week 2, they just pick up every single mine, because there is no actual proper way to get spells. There is no all spell boxes, at least from what I know. However, there is a control scroll in your biome in the new version. I know that much was added for sure, which I'm assuming is gonna be this one. since I don't see another one. Yes. So now you basically have a control scroll guaranteed in your biome, which is very important, because if this is town portal or fly, no, not fly, if this is town portal or dimension door, I would actually say that you should take the eye here. Then you should look around the map and you should see if there's actually some tomes that you can immediately see and take, or maybe a Utopia, because Utopias can obviously give you like Tome of Air, Spellbinder stats and so on. But yeah, basically what you want to see, if you can get the control scroll at least early on, you want to grab this control scroll as soon as possible. I think there's only one in the biome, so it should be pretty easy to tell which one it is. Then if it's a proper one, you might not want to build a castle up for the control anyway. So in that case, you might just want to grab a bunch of boxes and then straight break into another side biome. Then later on, if you do have the resources, maybe build a mage guild. But as I said, if you find town portal on like week 1 or week 2 early on, it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, you don't actually want to build that mage guild, as in actually spend all of your time towards building the mage guild in the first place. Because yeah, it does nothing for you then. You might get unlucky, then you get a bunch of random spells, then you have to reroll it multiple times, then you just waste like the entire first month doing nothing but try to build a mage guild and fail even sometimes. So yeah, basically the way you're gonna play this is you're gonna farm this entire biome, you're gonna get a bunch of boxes, then with those boxes you're obviously going to get into the bigger arties, bigger like fights in the map. Keep in mind that the fights on the map are actually extremely difficult. There are some boxes that are guarded by like horde of Cyclop Kings for like 2 boxes here, or like fairy dragons and so on. And yeah, they can take a lot to fight. You usually want to have something, at least like a huge power stack or maybe spells. There's a lot of ways to go over the game. Personally, I had slow ones, then I had, I think, chain lightning ones, then I had like a power stack of air elementals and water elementals to go with it, and so on. And I think in one of the latest games I actually had a titan power stack. There's like a lot of things you can do to actually clear the entire map here. And it depends obviously on tempo a lot. If you, for instance, play castle and you have like 10 marksman boxes in your biome, then that alone is enough to clear the entire map with, right? So the tempo can be very different when it comes to this template for sure. But yeah, you're probably gonna just go into a side biome, and after this turn I'm actually gonna showcase how the biomes work and what you should be expecting. So basically, you start with your town here, then you have 3 roads usually, or 4 roads or whatever, to the side biomes. I call them side biomes. One is always your same town, I think. Then one is always, I think, a castle. At least I've seen castle almost every single game so far. Keep in mind that all of these towns have 3 each, and one has a fort as well. Therefore you always want to have like the first town here, which has a castle. It's obviously very good. Then you have the same faction as you, also with a fort. And then you have a conflux down here. I think the conflux is very likely to be generated every single time as well, at least. But yeah, I've actually seen towns like Dungeon as well, so I don't think they're 100%, but it's more likely to generate a conflux or a castle, I would say. And all the side biomes have a fort, as I said, other than this one, because this is your same town. Then you basically have 3 different towns on the map. Each one has a fort. And then you have these separate biomes that connect with your opponent. This is always a portal that connects to your opponent, which I call treasuries. And the reason for this is that they usually have the best stuff, the best boxes. You have relics in them, you have utopias in them, you have a lot of things here. These are probably the best biomes that you can clear. Therefore, you have your main biome, you have the side biomes, most likely with a fort and the side towns. Then you basically have the treasuries that connect to your opponent treasury as well. Right, like you see that the opponent has the same portal. These go like on diagonals though, so this one connects here somewhere, and then like, you know, this connects here and so on. It's usually a cross between them. But yeah, more or less you have the biome, you have the site, you have the treasuries. Then you basically want to clear usually towards your second town. If you know where it is, especially because you took the eye, that's amazing. You're gonna take the second town, you're gonna start building it up. Sometimes you even want to double build, obviously, early on. So, you know, priority is to basically either break here if you want to double build, or break here if you want to build a mage guild right away, because you need the conflux town as a mage guild, since the fortress town only goes up to level 3, so it's useless. And yeah, this is pretty much how you play this template, I guess. You just get a bunch of boxes, you either build mage guild or you double build. If you have like a good control scroll, right, then you break into your side biomes, you get stabled up if there's a castle town, obviously. If you have town portal, you can obviously start clearing the map properly. You might find like a tome of air on the ground, so that's amazing. And keep in mind that one of the rules that was added is you have to kill both guards on the portals. So you cannot skip these guards here. You have to kill them both, always. This was actually not a thing before, because before it was like you have to clear every single guard on every single template, which was quite annoying because you sometimes just forgot about it and you did it into a certain biome here. But yeah, now it's basically just the portals that connect with your opponent. You have to clear them and not skip them anymore. So I think I covered pretty much everything. I hope the video was very helpful to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed. Most likely gonna play more of this template. I just realized honestly that it's out, like the second version, which I feel like is best, a lot better at least than the first version, since the control scroll was added. It provides some tempo early on and so on. So yeah, definitely a fun, interesting template. I hope it helps you out. I hope you're gonna try it out as well. And yeah, streaming every day. Feel free to follow me on Twitch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which will soon come out as well. It's gonna be a pretty fun series between me and Gluehammer, actually. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.